Our first guest tonight is an Oscar-nominated, Emmy-winning actor you know from movies like The Imitation Game, The Hobbit, and the Avengers franchise, as well as the series Sherlock. He stars in The Power of the Dog, which is in select theaters today and on Netflix December 1st. Let's take a look.
Now, gentlemen, look, see, that's what you do with the cloth.
It's really just for wine drips.
Oh, you got that, boys? Only for the drip. Now get us some food.
Please welcome to the show, Benedict Cumberbatch. Hello, Benedict.
Hi, Seth. How are you?
Now, Benedict, I know you to be a very lovely person, and that is very much not who you were playing in this film.
You should see me on a Monday morning. No, I mean, it was a bit of a reach, to say the least. And I mean, you know, it's a strange one. You get a call from Jane Campion and you just say, you know, what, when, where, I'm in. And then you find out what it is and go, why me? But she had faith. She knew there was something about this character, something that made him truly vulnerable underneath the hard exterior of sort of toxic masculinity that she thought I could bring to it. And she had every faith that I'd get the kind of the hard machismo down. And I had a few experiences. She was amazing. She was amazing rehearsals as well as production and ever since. And she said, look, if there's anything you feel insecure about, we're here to help you as a production. Please let us know. And I went, okay. Banjo playing, being an arse, whittling, whistling. I mean, just this list of things this guy has lived, breathed, and mastered over 40-odd years of his life on this ranch in 1925 Montana. So they took me to Dude Camp, and I learned to do everything I do in the film, pretty much.
I mean, not only do you get to work with Jane Campion, you get to shoot in New Zealand. That must have added to the many pleasures of this project.
I mean, you know, it's her kingdom, but my God, it's such a welcoming place. Everyone there is sort of hardwired to be hospitable. And that landscape is another character in the film and just a gift for an actor, especially one playing a character who's so much about the outside and bringing the outside in. He's a man who never takes his clothes off. He never washes. He's incredibly buttoned up and contained and dirtified by his work in a very honest way. And you know, the landscape is also his refuge. It's the one place where he can be private and be true to the sort of secret that he's hiding and find the sort of moment to express that and connect with that. And at the same time, it's what he masters, the weather, the animals, the men that help him run the ranch. And to be in a place like that, which is truly still some of the most, I think, spectacular wilderness on the planet was just such a gift for this movie.
So I heard that you went a whole week without showering. Was this a choice that you made for your character, or did Jane ask this of you?
It's such a thing, this sort of people not washing. But yeah, this was for character work, I would say, first and foremost. And it was a request, and my family hadn't yet arrived in the country, so that was helpful. However, you know, there was a cleaner who came in once or twice a week. And then Jane went, oh, this is great. So we're going to go meet some friends for sushi. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm like a biohazard zone. I'm walking 5 feet in front of me, you know. People wanting selfies are going, can I have it? Oh, and just run in the opposite direction, which is no bad thing sometimes. But, you know, in rehearsal and just to feel, this guy didn't wash for like months. So it's pretty tame. It's big in our modern day environment of cleanliness and 1 or 2 showers. Open the debate a day, but you know, yeah, it's quite something to go there, even just for a week. It's very peculiar.
So I heard Jesse Plemons, who plays your brother, the incredible actor, that one of the things Jane asked was for you guys to, as actors, learn each other's smell. She asked you to waltz together, to take an afternoon nap together. Now I have to ask, does it take a director of Jane Campion's level for you to say, okay?
Yeah, kind of. It's not a request I get much on a Marvel set, but look, I'd happily take a nap with Jesse Plemons on any job.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart and an extraordinarily gifted actor, one of the best, if not the best, of our generation. I have so much admiration for him. And yet, you know, there we are as brothers suddenly just thrown together for a brief moment of trying to create this story. And these guys, odd as it seems to us now, shared the same bedroom, not the same bed. We didn't nap in the same bed, but you know, what is it to sort of lie beside one another and those sort of everything that sleep is about, to be something that's sort of shared in such an intimate space. And, you know, I'd grown up with the guy. I've knocked about with him. We fought with everything that brothers do over their lifetime. And I was just meeting this very cool dude who I was full of admiration for off an airplane, and you know, to be thrown together in such a peculiar way was actually really, really helpful. It just broke that down and made it something real and connected, and yeah, that all preciousness just evaporated. It was great.
It's so funny to me, and again, it speaks to your great range as an actor to work on a project like this where it's very much like the authenticity of learning another actor's smell versus
Right.
You mentioned a Marvel movie where you show up and it's like, now pretend that over there is a monster.
I know. There's the person you smell. It's a ping pong ball. Yeah, I know. But you know, I think it still requires the same kind of level of interrogation and authenticity. You're just using your imagination a lot more. Not least because you know you can't afford to fix it all in post when you're doing a film like Jane's, and you know, the real world environment is a gift in that sense for the power of the dog, and also the sort of childish gameplay and just freedom of imagination for doing the sort of Marvel work it's a different muscle, but it's equally as interesting and challenging for me. I love both. I really do.
You seem like someone that would be great to collaborate on a film set, and yet I heard a story that early in your acting days, you were in a school play as a young man. You were playing Joseph, and you thought the actor who was playing Mary was taking too long with her line, and you shoved her off stage. True story?
Yeah, true
okay.
story. And this voice came across an outdoor swimming pool, this Lido in Hampstead, near where I live, only last year, going, Benedict, I was the Mary you pushed off the stage with kids. You know, this fully grown adult. And I said, I don't know where to put myself right now. I'm so sorry. She went, oh, no, it's great. I dine out on the story. So,
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, if you're not going to make it as an actor yourself, you might as well get shoved by someone who's been incredibly successful.
I would not, I wouldn't advocate that as a way into a career.
So then you go on to drama school. What kind of student were you then?
Mixed, you know. I had great respect for a lot of the process, a lot of the classes, and then at other times, I think I hadn't got being the sort of student who liked to sort of muck about and make his friends laugh at the back of the class out of my system. And you know, there were moments of great integrity and stuff that I learned, great pearls of wisdom, and just shards of things that just I exercise all the time in my work. And then other moments where I was going, this is just, you know, I need to sort of do something to not get bored and just entertain people at the back of the room. So I would say a mixed bag, but I'm very proud of my school. I'm president of LAMDA now, and you know, I think there's lots of things I'm grateful for in the privilege of my upbringing and my life. But one of the things I notice most is that at the beginning of an actor's career, every single advantage counts. And so we're trying really hard to make that school as accessible and as inclusive as possible. So that's a kind of a thing I'm really proud of being a part of and being back in that environment to do. But at the time, I could be a pain in the ass.
Very nice. It's very adult of you to be able to admit that now. You also have a show coming out on Amazon Prime called The Electrical Life of, am I saying this right, Louis Wain?
Yes, you are saying it right. You are saying it right. I'm super proud of this film. The director and rewriter, I should say, it was Simon Siemens originally, but it's is Will Sharp. He's an extraordinary talent, and rather like Jane, he just has a mastery of every aspect of filmmaking, from the ratio of the screen to the texture of the clothing to, I mean, you know, even going up to the first violinist in the recording of his brother's score. It's a very talented family, and saying, you know, this is what the character's feeling at the moment that you're playing this theme. And it was just, I fell in love with Louis. He's a very quiet hero in a very loud Victorian world. And he suffered a great deal from finding it difficult to be in this world. He was diagnosed in his life with schizophrenia, though he's not here now, obviously, to ask or observe. So out of respect, and we're less prescriptive in our take on him. But, you know, he struggled, and it's really a film about love, the love he had for his wife, beautifully played by Claire Foy, sustaining him throughout his life and his career. And oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, there are just some characters that don't leave you alone. I loved Phil Burbank perversely because he's a troubled dude. But Louis Wain, there's just, I've got a real soft spot for him. I think he's a very special human being and a story worth telling.
Well, I can't wait to see that, and congratulations again on the film. It really is. It is a film. We were talking briefly before the show, and I know it sounds a little pretentious, but it is really a piece of cinema, and it's incredibly engaging, and it's a wonderful story. But congratulations.
Thanks so much, Seth. Thank you.
Benedict Cumberbatch, everybody. The Power of the Dog is in select theaters today, on Netflix December 1st.